came back for the OTA practices after a couple days. It was just something that needed to be addressed. So we took another look at it, and the rehab's been going awesome. So came back here pretty early for the off season. So I've been back here for, I don't know, about 3-4 weeks already. And it's been going really good. So something I'm happy that I did.
Been blessed to be with the same unit, for a few years now. How is it just to see the new faces out here, and just to see a new group of guys, man, trying to find their way out here on the line?
Yeah, I mean, that's every year. You're always going to have some turnover. Obviously, this year we've had more turnover than in the past. But it's good to see. It's good to see guys out here, young, wanting to compete, trying to earn their way in this league. Because, at one point, every player was there. So it's cool to see. It's cool to see those guys working hard, trying to, achieve what they want to achieve.
I'm curious what you've seen in over the past year.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was pretty raw coming in, but
yeah.
You love the athletic talent. Just a year under his belt.
Yeah.
How much have you seen him kind of advance?
I think he's starting to gain confidence in himself. He's obviously physically gifted, like incredibly physically gifted. But it's been a step up, obviously, coming from college. Not only if you come from college in the United States to the NFL, but from Canada. So I think a step up in the competition, having to learn the playbook against really good competition, just took a little bit. And now he's starting to gain some confidence in that. And then he was actually out at my gym all offseason in Arizona. So I think that'll be great for him. And I think more than anything, he just needs reps. And he's going to get a lot of reps, especially, I'm out for a little bit right now. That's going to give him more reps to improve and get better. So I think he's just going to continue to improve. And I'm excited to see him get more opportunities in the preseason to be able to be in a game scenario and do it, because that's another step after, practice. So.
Is that his idea or your idea?
Ask you about what the vibe is. What's the mentality? We've asked you that more than I think most anyone on this roster. You've had incredible expectations the last couple of years after the gut punch how last season ended. Where's the mindset of this group right now?
I mean, it's going to sound like boring, but you just have to get back to work. Especially with our schedule this year, we earned the right to play in all these games against these really good teams. But now we have to show up. Now we have to put the work in, and you don't want to go out there and lay an egg. Because a couple years ago, nobody wanted to watch the Lions. Now everybody wants to watch the Lions. Guys want to come play here. And that's a testament to the work that we put in when not as many people cared. So I think you can't lose sight of that. You got to keep the main thing, and that's going out to work, getting better, competing. And I think, as I've said a million times with different situations, Brad and Dan wouldn't bring guys in here that don't adhere to that mindset.
That was very good.
Oh, thank you.
Looked like you worked out with Gio this offseason.
Yeah.
Maybe took him under your wing.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him in year two, and why is it important for you to mentor him and other young guys?
Because number one, they're the future. I'm not going to be able to play forever. I'm going to, play as long as I can because, I like being here, and especially I love the guys. I think it was really good for him to, be out at the gym in the off season, just kind of give him some sense of direction because, it can be hard. Where do I train? What do I do? When do I start ramping it up? And then out in Arizona, we were around a bunch of guys that play. And then Jamarco Jones, Natane Moody's out there too. So you have, 4 guys on the Lions that are at the same gym who have all played football at a high level. So you can see what it looks like. So I think it was good for him. I think he was able to gain confidence and then just maybe train a little differently than he has in the past.
How does your leadership role change with kind of some of the individual differences along the interior of the offensive line this season and without Frank there, and also not physically being able to be on the field these first few weeks?
Yeah, first and foremost, losing Frank. I mean, he's as close to an irreplaceable guy as you can get. Side note, I'm happy for him. Over the last couple years, him kind of going through what he's been going through mentally and physically, it could have happened sooner, and I think he stuck it out for us. So first and foremost, I'm happy for Frank. And when he called me, I was almost I was sad for myself because he's my best friend, and I've only played one full season without him, so it's going to be different. But for him, I'm relieved for you. And then I went and saw him a couple days after, and it was the right decision. It was right for him. So, what was the second part of your question? Sorry.
Being a leader among this unit,
yeah.
Not only the most veteran player on this team, but on that unit that's so many changes in the offseason and in the interior?
I think number one, the standard is the standard. We're expected to be one of the top offensive lines in the league. You lose big pieces, but we've put those expectations on ourselves and put ourselves in a position where we're expected to perform a certain way. It doesn't matter if there's maybe a guy's out and there's a backup in. Maybe there's a guy who's never started games before and he's in there and he's playing. The expectation is the expectation, and that's just really not going to change. And I think for me personally, especially as I'm getting older, I can't let myself waver from the expectations, especially in practice. Right now I'm not practicing, but when I am back out there, I need to do things the right way, because if I don't do things the right way, then that's setting a bad example for guys who haven't got to play. And I wouldn't be in the position I'm in if I didn't handle things as a professional. So I think just continuing to set a good example, as boring as that is, kind of lead by example sort of thing. And then just, I think it's going to be important to build the guys up, because there's going to be bad days. Guys are going to have bad games. I'm going to have a bad game. It's just going to happen. But just continue to build those guys up, because there's a lot of expectations on our room, and there's a lot of expectations on certain individuals that can seem pretty daunting, but they're ready for it.
How emotional was that call?
Well, I talked to him a bunch of times this offseason. I probably talked to him 3 or 4 times on the phone before the decision was coming. That's what I was expecting. And I'm just happy that he was able to arrive at that decision and be at peace with it. Because like I said, I was a little worried when I went to go see him in person afterwards that he was going to be struggling with it, but he was just relieved. And just as a human being, like I said, outside of his wife and his mom and his family, I feel like I know what he was dealing with more than anybody. And everybody just seems so happy for him. And I'm happy for him. I mean, the guy had a phenomenal career. I mean, for my money, he should be in the Hall of Fame. He was incredible.
What's your early impressions of John Morton so far? What's he bring to the table? Anything different, or what have you noticed in him?
I missed the first part. Who are you talking about?
John Morton.
Oh, well, number one, he's been here before, so we have a little familiarity with him. And then as far as bringing his own flavor to things, but also he's not trying to change everything that we were good at. Maybe we're going to do it a little differently here and there. We'll tweak it here, new formation. Maybe there's some things that he's talked with Jared that him and Jared like together. There's going to be new concepts and stuff like that. As far as the run game's concerned, Hank's doing a lot of that, which he's done a lot of that in the past anyway. So there's a lot of continuity, a lot of carryover with that, but there's going to be new concepts and things like that. And then with every year, there's going to be new guys playing, so you might have to play to their strengths a little bit. Maybe we'll be a little more heavy in a certain run concept or a certain pass concept. Maybe there's some things that we did last year that based on self-scout we need to mix up and maybe do it differently or do less of, But right now it's just day 2. We're just trying to get lined up right, and we're trying to get the snap count and get the communication in. All those nuances will come.